you should have.
Sweet. Hello, everybody. It's Jill of I'm Here With, and we're here with Matthew Finlin. Okay, you guys, we have been sharing him on social media for like the last week. Organically, we were looking into spirituality and how to feel good in your body, breath work, all the things that people don't think about of their success. And you need to work from the inside out. And that's exactly what we're doing, you guys. Inside out beauty and love to move forward our life. You know, we have this topic in our heart for a long time. And when we came across Matthew, we just said, oh my gosh, he's doing exactly how we feel. And he has his own academy in Vancouver. So, hi, Matt. Welcome.
Hello.
Look at that big, beautiful smile. So, we have been loving your Human Potential Academy Instagram page, website, and the love and trauma webinars that you guys have been doing in a 3-part series. I've watched the 2 of them all over and over, and you have created an amazing team. Like, we can just see who you are from the outside. You are not, you're a musician, so to say. I was seeing on your socials today that you create music and sound, but I feel like people who are in the health and wellness and coaching and business of wellness sector, this is a new thing for the magazine to talk about. So we're really excited to have you on today to be one of our first people who coach people to a better life. So we want to know all about you, Matt. You're young and handsome and awesome, and people are flooding to talk to you on multiple podcasts. So why do you think that is, Matt? What do you think about you, people coming to you for it?
Right on. Yeah. Thank you. Oh my goodness. What a nice introduction. Yeah, I think the primary reason is because like we've broken like science, people who talk about science, and then like people who talk about money, and then there's people who talk about spirituality, and the people that talk about science and money look at the people that talk about spirituality like dumb, dirty hippies, and sometimes they're right, not always. And then the people in the spiritual community will look at the people in the scientific community and the financial community as like cold and like selfish, and sometimes they're right too. And I bridge those things. So my entire spiritual journey and everything that I stand for that has to do with spirituality is grounded in either scientific evidence or through my own experience and data that I've gathered. And so when I speak with people in the spiritual community, I'm able to like explain to them what's going on scientifically. And so I take it from a like a faith to a like understanding. And then on the other end of that, I've been able to speak with like different types of scientists and show them how it's like, look, like this actually exactly what they were talking about in like ancient Egypt or in different texts. And then the money part is a really interesting thing because like our 2 target audiences with Human Potential Academy are the financially abundant and the spiritually broken, or the spiritually abundant and the financially broken, because
Mm.
they're both the forms of abundance. You have people that get like really high up in their money, and then either their body's broken, or their relationships are broken, or their connection to like God and their purpose is broken, and they keep chasing more money, more money, more money, thinking that it's going to leave them fulfilled, but it doesn't leave them fulfilled. And then there's people in the spiritual community that are like doing all the right things, but like,
Yeah.
I'm broke, God, like why am I broke? And it's like, well, because you have a disdain and a hate for capitalism and money and those types of things. And so I'm quite passionate about like bridging the spiritual and the science, and then the spiritual and the financial community. And so I think because a lot of what I say is like grounded in reality,
Mm.
and like understandable, like it's
Break it
digestible when i
down.
when i when I talk about spirituality and both sides of the coin, um like that, like the spiritual community likes when it's understandable, and the scientific community likes when it's understandable. So I think that would probably be at like the heart of what's kind of causing this magnetism right now.
Yeah, the relationship between our soul, our subconscious, what we know, where we came from, and the it from the beginning. This is not new information. And yes, whenever I have been stepping, into my truth and wanting to talk in a spiritual way about how I'm feeling from the past, like I've done past life regression before. And yeah, I get a lot of weird looks. It's really hard when you are not in that container of a network that cares about this stuff. And people just tell you, well, keep working harder. And it seems to me that we need all to have a reset and truly go through that awakening that people say. It's like the word, it feels like an awakening of, hey, I can do something different today. I can train my brain, my neural pathways to try something new. That's moving forward is the most important thing. What I've learned from you guys, watching Brian, Dr. Divi, and you in the past like 3 weeks, I've actually definitely healed myself a little bit. Been going,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
distance yourself from the bad energy and focus on yourself. And you kind of feel like, I want to say like self-indulgent, where I'm like, okay, how do I feel today about this? When they said this to me, what did that do to my inner child? Is that me or that?
Mm.
Like, it is really hard to do that. Most people don't want an awakening. And I'll tell you that for
Yeah.
the business mind and the artists that are like, I'm going to be famous and put myself out there. And I feel like the best way to do that, guys, is to work on yourself first. So that's why the magazine itself is going through that. From I've been through a lot, you guys. My dad died, my best friend died. I was pretty much homeless for the last year. Doing a magazine instead of taking care of myself and putting out a
Mm.
product and letting everything else falter, it really pushed me to where this is. It comes from a very organic place, and I am a Romanian born gypsy, legit, 100%. Jewish roots of that sort from way back when in, like, Israel and then Hungary. So I am definitely like attuned to this stuff and use my gypsy gifts. My whole life, people talk about this. So I'm so happy to finally meet a group of people that wants to talk about this stuff. It's not really like something like a business person. When you sit down, how are you going to do the structure of your business? There isn't that celebration of yourself. It's just one to the next, one to the next. I'll tell you, the last few months that we've put out 6 issues in the last year, and it has felt like we haven't achieved anything. So people like you, when you
Mm.
talk about this stuff, that's what makes you feel good inside. It doesn't come from other people, and that's the strength that people need to learn. So let's talk more about how you even got into this. So the podcast we've been learning, you went to Asia and found yourself. You have a whole fitness business behind yourself that you started to get into the spirituality and coaching business. So let's talk about Matthew. You're from a small town in Canada, have traveled to find yourself. So what was your journey to get to creating Human Potential Academy?
Yeah, I mean, you did a pretty good job of summing it up. Without repeating too many of the things from maybe other episodes. I'm from a small town originally. I grew up like 6 kilometers, 4 miles outside of a town of 3,000 people. Didn't have like TV, didn't have internet, and had a great imagination, and really in hindsight had a really, really solid childhood.
Mhm.
And didn't come from like loads of money though. And so I
Mhm.
ended up going to school in Vancouver, and then I found out what commissions were when I was 20 years old, and it like just blew my mind. I just didn't know how the whole business world worked. I started a job, and it was door-to-door sales. And I pretty quickly got promoted to a position where I was training people, and I moved out actually to Toronto. And what I found was if you train people on doing sales and business, they don't do sales or business. They are terrible, and then they end up quitting. And so what I found was if I taught people how to have a healthy mind, healthy body, and good relationships with their loved ones, friends, family, romantic, that they could sell. They were happy, healthy, and they would perform. And so um, I really became obsessed with, and I really mean this, like a decade ago, with how people learn, remember, and then execute on the information that they've learned. Which is, with that being the most difficult part. Like right now, we have a whole bunch of like people that know what to do but don't know how to do it, and that actually can cause a lot of damage in the individual. Something called cognitive dissonance, and so anyways, I look at it on a spectrum, right? There's neuroscience, psychology, philosophy,
Yeah.
spirituality. And so like you can't separate God and the mind. They're synonymous, those types of things. We often like, and there's different types of intelligences. I should definitely make that uh, known. Like I've just discovered this recently, which is a really cool thing. In ancient Greece, which, and they were like stoics, right? They were stoicism. It was like logic. They actually have equations for logic.
Yeah,
So
there's a whole book.
not as,
Yeah.
yeah, not as emotional, more focused on stoicism and logic. But even they said that the highest form of intelligence was the intuitive mind, which I found very, very, very interesting. And Albert Einstein said that what is he? How does he word it? He words it like the intuitive mind is the master and the logical mind is the servant, and we live in a society that has made the servant their master, or something like that. So it's really cool when you find these types of things out, and that's all on the spectrum that I'm talking about. So, anyways, without going too deep into it, I had a pretty good success when I was doing this. I was able to like duplicate and open up several offices. However, I was financially illiterate, and so
Sounds like me.
I was making a lot of money and then spending a lot of money. So I would like 2 grand would come in, 2 grand would go out, and I was like 3 grand would come in, 3 grand would go out, and then all of a sudden, a couple years later, the government came at me and they asked for this crazy thing called business taxes, and I was like, what are those? Like, what do you mean business taxes? So just had no idea. And this is one of the primary reasons why with Human Potential Academy we're so passionate about getting to a place of opening a children's school where
Oh, teaching the children how to manage their spirit to their future. Oh my God.
yeah, so like if we were to like
Wow.
sum it up, like, and this is like kind of a joke, but to sum it up very simply, well, the kids school is going to be like when we were kids, not like now. I think the education system is messed
Yeah,
up right now.
homeschool all the way. Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
have almost no good words for it, especially North America. But it'll be similar to when we were children. Plus, we're going to teach kids how to meditate, how to communicate in relationships, how to make money, invest money, and do taxes. If we were to like, kind of like sum it up quite simply, and so
Real
that's
life
as anyways,
skills.
that's on the horizon.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God. That is so
Yeah.
crazy. Kevin Sorbo, like everybody knows him from Hercules. So
Yeah.
funny. I'm super into mythologies because if you look back
Okay.
from the Bible and the Greek mythology, like
Hmm,
all
hmm,
the gods, the same thing in life keeps happening, you guys, from
hmm,
jealousy between the Aphrodite and the women, this story.
hmm,
Like there was like, oh, I was deep diving into that recently and I thought,
hmm.
okay, so inherently you guys are past actions from our parents, generational issues carries with us of our DNA of who we are and our reality. Like all the things of science of what you talk about when I try to share with people, it is psychology and that is a science. But sometimes you can't explain when you think something and you want something and you're aligned with that and you're doing good in your life and then it happens to you and you're like, I'm lucky, yay. But it's not luck, right? It's when you're putting because we're all energy, is I've learned from you guys that I feel like with the intention and setting and being on your own path with being really organic and good to everyone around you, it doesn't mean your life's going to be easy and fun. I feel like the people who are good have a struggling life way more than the people who are making that money and rich, but are, negative and unhappy to everyone. Why do you think that
Yeah.
is? What is with that? I feel like in my soul that the good people go first. All my best buds who are like the guys in my life, older to my age, I grew up with who were supportive, they're done, they're gone. Like literally. It's very unfortunate. Now they're up waiting, watching me. And I feel like, yeah, is this a thing that you feel like that the soul, we have more to talk about in life than just how much money we make or what we achieved that day, or it's more like, I think Dr. Divi even said this, that um there's no like competition for your soul. There's no like, I'm the best. It has to be individual, and we're all going through the same thing, but we don't talk
Hmm.
about that. We want to hide and pretend we're doing well. Like nobody on social media posts the real negative stuff because no one wants to see negative stuff. I understand. But I feel like, how can people open their mind to realizing, okay, guys, there's more to life than just posting that you did a coffee with somebody. Like when you're really in tune with someone properly, when you reaching out to them, you're going to achieve something greater than what you have now. But a lot of people ruin it before you can even move forward with them, and they do it to themselves. So anyway, my question for that is, why do you think the good people go first, and why they have a hard time with life more than the people who are linear and just take what they want and don't care about anyone else? Like this mindset I see a lot in film and TV, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think I don't think that it's fair to say a blanket statement of like the best people die young. I don't think
Yeah.
that's fair to say, only because a lot of like, fantastic people live into old age as
Mhm.
well,
To
right?
teach.
And
They're here to
so
keep teaching, yeah.
becoming a teacher. So one thing that I do know that I've seen, and this is something I've been kind of grappling with actually, is that every single person that I've seen, that I've met, uh, goes through hell to get to heaven. Like they
Mhm.
go through hell first for time, and then they become great. This is for like, again, like everyone that I've ever seen that has become what we call a great. And
Mhm.
so that appears to be something that is like a kind of a potentially a prerequisite to becoming great. So
We're
I
on the
haven't
right path,
really.
everyone, then.
Yeah, well, that's really the thing, right? Is because, well, here's the cool thing about all these things is that like your traumas can your traumas can become your superpowers. And what I mean by that is like all the coaches that I've met that are experts in their field,
Mhm.
that help people in these traumas, went through those types of traumas. So they made it through that hell, and now they're helping people that are in that particular type of hell get out of that. And so, um, yeah, like one thing that's just become so apparent is this kind of framework around like, if you look at life as a series of bad events happening to you, then you're right. But if you look at it as like a series of opportunities to like improve and like challenges for you to navigate, when you like really accept that whatever's happening is like it's because of you, right?
Yeah.
Like you have carved yourself to getting to the place that you're at right now. And and we have the
The
choice. We can
hardest thing to
switch
admit.
it.
Most
Yeah.
people don't want to get that knowledge and search that, because we all know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Well, for
do.
sure, and that's just because of the ego, right? Like the ego has two jobs, and the ego's got a really bad rap. So
Yeah, you
I'm
look.
gonna I'm gonna defend the ego for a second here. So
Okay.
the ego's job is to keep you safe and the same. Okay,
Mhm.
safe and the same. Okay, so before I go, so to keep you the safe and the same. So why do people have such a hard time changing and like
Because we're
recognizing.
programmed that that's
Well,
what's
because of the ego, it wants to
to
keep them
survive. Yeah.
safe and the same. But the thing is that if you that's exactly how we want to be treated by our romantic partner. We want our
Loyalty.
romantic we want our romantic partner to make a safe space for us and to
Mhm.
love us for who we are, not who we could be, right? That's what we want
Yeah.
from our romantic partners
Mhm.
a lot of the time. So we're looking at the ego like they're a bad person, like you're a bad ego, when really like they're trying to keep us safe and the same. So it's like the intention of the ego is honest, it's just misguided, right? It's like, sorry, ego, like what you're doing right now to keep me the same right now is actually going to cause harm to me in the future. So like I can see where you're coming from and I appreciate you, but you're misguided. And so the answer is no. I'm going to actually decide right now that I do need to make a change and things aren't going to be the same.
Yeah, I feel like when I watched that video you guys have just put out, a love and trauma and relationships webinar in a 3-part series. Two episodes are out right now, and I was feeling like, oh wow, you know, the root of loving yourself is the biggest thing we need to fix for ourselves to move forward. And I think Dr. Divi was mentioning that every time you do something different, it's good for your brain. And I feel like, oh, you guys, if you could get as excited as you and me are inside to change ourselves inside neurologically and mentally and make ourselves happier all the time, that's the setting for success. And I feel
Hmm.
like, yes, I feel so much. So coaching is such a thing, right? Like I feel like I always like call my friends just to like coach me, like, guys, what do I do? Should I keep going or not? I'm a
Hmm.
very dramatic person most of the time. And I feel like, oh, okay, the mind needs to calm down because our subconscious is always going to tell us what's up, but our reality and what we want and feels good and what's, you know, on this dimension. Because the third, you know, living in this like fourth dimension or whatever, third, fourth dimension, it's not really the same as what our soul feels and why we came here. There's so many days that we wake up feeling like, I'm not living my purpose, you guys. So I love the name human potential because I constantly like I vibe with it because I say that all the time that it's not me, it's not you that can change anything. It's your hope of your potential of who you are and the dreams when you're moving forward and have something to work towards. I feel like that's something everyone can relate to, you know, when they feel like I'm sad. Well, I have a really big party tomorrow. Oh, I better focus on that. And naturally our brain kind of does that. But the people that are like in your network know how to wake up, harness yourself, put yourself at that vibration because it's about loving yourself. And I've cried by myself going, I just don't love myself enough. Ugh. And no one can do that for you but yourself. So your coachings and what you guys do, that's like you've learned how to do it for yourself and now you're sharing. So that's why I think it's really cool that people would come to you because you're so young. A lot of people your age, you know, we're so lost. They're doing drugs and alcohol and have suicide ideals in their mind because when it's bad, right? People can't see to move forward. They don't know how. But if they educate themselves, I think they would all learn like, okay, loving myself is the best thing to do when I'm sad. But we don't know these tools, and it's not easy to just do it yourself. So, this coaching lifestyle that you do every day, you get to help somebody, you call them, you're seeing what their life is. I'm sure it influences you in some format, but with giving them science information when that's happening. Like even today I was upset and I was telling my friend, I was like, I feel like this. And I felt it and I was crying and feeling the way I was. But you know, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to get back to it. Come on, Jill, you've got things to do. Go research Matt a little bit more, enjoy yourself, have a good day. Went out for a walk. And I felt like, yeah, because I've been like studying what you guys are doing and with your guys's guidance online, I have changed my mindset in like 3 weeks since I've been following you guys. I've been controlling myself. And that's what I want to teach people because I have ADD, right? And I'm all over the place with how I feel about myself because I'm adopted. So I've got a whole other side that most people would never know who I am. I don't explain myself from my magazine side ever. This is the first time I'm talking about this actually for the audience to know that. So I feel like it's so organic why I want to share about what you're doing because if it's helped me, and I felt like nothing could ever help me from feeling like, okay, I'll just do the work and make everyone else happy so I can survive and feel like I'm part of something before I die. And I feel like, no, guys, we can't live like this, you know? Like I just turned 35, and so that kind of sparked things as well. So I just feel like I hope that people listen to what you have to say and what I'm saying today and realize how important it is to look inside yourself. And when you don't know how to do that, coaches are the best thing. And I remember you saying in one of them that, guys, we have so many different coaches on our team. This person can help facilitate with this. Brian can help with relationships and sexuality, which I was very interested in his socials. And then Divi is all science doctor and all things energy and mediumship and clairvoyancy. Like she's like everything, I think, in one, but she focuses on love, I think, which is the root of the root. Our root chakra needs to know that we're planted in the earth and love. So anyways, I'm getting off topic. So let's talk more about this coaching. How can people get involved with you? You know, you guys seem to respond on social media, which is so awesome. Like, was so unexpected that you guys would do that, because you're like, you're gold and black branding. I really like what you guys have going on with the social media and the website, and you guys are growing yourselves. So like the thing that we do with I'm Here With is always supporting people as they're rising without knowing it, without even knowing it. So these retreats that you're planning for next year, we want to know like what you guys offer, how we can, you know, find ourselves with you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, shout out to Bay. Bay does our design for our website and our Instagram, and it's the best. I
It
haven't
is
seen
very professional.
I haven't seen another Instagram that I look at and I'm like, this looks. Now I am likely biased, but shout out to Bay because she did such a good job. So
Yeah, well
yeah,
done.
getting
It's a
getting a
female
hold of us.
doing
I
it.
mean,
I love that.
really, yeah, yeah. So we have, yeah, exactly. There's we've got our four main people that have shares in our company, and that's me, Brian, Selena, and Bay. So shout out to them. But if you want to get a hold of us, you just get a hold of us. You can reach out to me directly. You can reach out to Human Potential Academy directly. You can find Brian. You can find Selena. You can find Bay. Just reach out to us. We'll respond. That's we're in the business of people, and
Mm.
so we really focus on like nourishing our community. We have free community calls on Mondays and Thursdays. I think I told you about
Unbelievable.
those.
Yes, I'm gonna
And
dive into that.
I'm excited to see you. Yeah, Mondays we do goal setting and accountability, and then Thursdays we do shadow work and gratitude. And on those calls, it's not just a lecture. There's definitely like an information piece to it, but it's really about like the community coming together. And the catchphrase for our community calls is that vulnerability is the currency of relationships. And so it's just freaking beautiful the way that people have opened up. Some of the freaking progress people have had even in the past couple of weeks is just like, I just love
I
doing
want
it
to
so
share it.
much.
You
I
cultivate,
just
and even me, I'm like, I want to tell you
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
why I'm
good.
getting into it with you. I can't even help it. Yeah.
And it's good, right? Because we like to like, that's such an honor. Like, thank you so much, because it's about providing that safe environment, right? And that's what we do.
Yeah.
We have men, we have women, we have science, we have spirituality. So it's like we come together, we make it safe, and we make it make sense. Now, our
Mm.
coaching, so we have three divisions. Two of them are happening. One of them is a little bit slower. You would have heard me say this before. So we have our academy, we have our events and retreats, and then we coming soon our practitioner division. And so the academy uh, currently has our flagship coaching container, which is one-on-one with a coach, and it's called Courage. It's a psychological resilience and goal achievement program. And so whatever you need,
Ooh.
you'll be partnered with the coach that has the skill set and the mastery in the arenas that you desire, and then they'll run through the Courage program, but with that coach's flavor. And you just reach out, and we'll get you on a discovery call, get to know you a little bit more, and find out who's going to be the best coach for you. Then for our events and retreats, we're hosting a lot of events. Again, we have some online. Most of them are in person, and they're in Vancouver right now. We did one out in Toronto late last year, and
How did that
we have
go?
it was great. Yeah, it was great. We did we did our heart brain coherence workshop, a little bit of breath, a little bit of meditation and guided practice. It was really, really great. We do twice a year. We have an event that's called Hika. It's an ancient Egyptian word.
Oh, yes, I saw that
It means
episode that
a
Hika is
few things.
the first god.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Great,
know,
great, great.
but definitely teaching
Yeah,
it.
so we have those events. Those are in Vancouver. Next one's at the end of this month, April 29th. It's a 2 week thing. It's really, really powerful. And yeah, just reach out. We can give your audience a discount code as well. And then
Yeah,
the
yeah,
retreat
they'd love that.
retreats are uploading for next year. We're going to be going and scouting out a few different places, and yeah, we're gonna do a really, really amazing retreat next year, likely in Southeast Asia. I have a lot of connections there, so
Philippines
yeah,
or
that's going to
something,
be.
or
Pardon?
the Philippines, maybe?
Not sure. Yeah, not sure. Maybe Thailand, maybe
Yeah.
Malaysia. I'm not really sure. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know for sure.
Yeah, we
And
can't wait to
yeah,
share.
yeah. So yeah, if just reach out, if you want to get a taste, hop on our community calls and see what we're about. If you're more interested in discovering our um, our one-on-one coaching, then you can reach out to us as well. And again, of course, the Love Trust Trauma course is coming out in the beginning of May. That's Divvy, Brian, and myself. It's like an absolute steal. I think it's like $200 a month or something. And yeah, $200 a
Yes.
month,
What
700 for
is
the
with
entire
that, you
4 months.
guys?
Absolute steal.
It
And
is so
get
that
access to
price point.
all
Wow.
four of us on that container.
Unbelievable that you guys are making it affordable for people. When I heard that, because like at first, right, like people, that's what I want to say as well. The coaching is actually affordable, and people in Canada, we're not robbers, like most people are that I'm seeing. It's like thousands, but they know their value, so that's okay. But I feel like as you guys are growing, that is so affordable. Come on, to have somebody call, like to be able to call somebody every week to talk about how you're feeling, the right person. I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of people give advice that they are not solicited really,
yeah,
or they don't know what they're talking about. And definitely promoting people to really open their mindset to thinking of, yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody to bounce ideas off, but not just
yeah,
a friend that is benefiting to hear all your gossip and will turn around on you. So that is
yeah.
something as well, you guys. Like, people are really scared to be vulnerable because in film and
Mhm.
TV, even experiences with me, I'll tell people, oh, I never feel good about myself because my mother gave me up, and then my dad, he wasn't good to me. So I don't feel loved by by authority, blah, blah. And then when you tell people something like that, sometimes they use it against you, where they go, oh
Yeah.
yeah, Jill, I don't think she's like this. And they judge upon. And I feel like the community that you guys have built and watching all your past classes online as well, it's just supportive. And that's what people need right now in Canada, wherever they are. You guys, America needs this more than ever. And I was saying to myself, even like I talk to myself a lot, my Maria side, my subconscious, who's very straight and knows what to do and how to make it work. But I was saying to myself, like, Jill, the root of all of this is to just go your path. Like, we get
Hmm.
so caught up on what everyone else is thinking that we're not even thinking, how did that make me feel when I woke up? What did I do for myself? It's like people think it's almost selfish or something to indulge in
Hmm.
yourself and how you feel and doing actions based on how intuitive you, like, it's just an interesting topic, and it's not brought up in entertainment. It's
Hmm.
it's idolized, as in, appropriated, like gypsies are like culturally appropriated too much. I'll tell you that right now. I don't enjoy this fact that people make money off pretending to be gypsies when they don't know what a gypsy means. It's a culture. And I feel like I can't wait to one day talk about that. I'm intentionalizing that when I come out to Vancouver, hopefully with the magazine in hand, and can meet you guys and give you a copy, and you'll be in it. So today I'm
Please.
intentionalizing this for you, and I meet you guys in May that'll have it. And, we can celebrate together with that and move forward with telling more of the story, because with the magazine itself, where did I put it? We always have, the same people, the stories from the beginning in 2016. We have the same people, just in a different way, and people get their chance.
Cool.
So
Very cool.
so I just feel like today has been an amazing interview with you. And I feel like we are going to dive so hard with you in many aspects of talking about spirituality on our socials, way more. But we wanted to get you on board today and just say like how much we've already been influenced by you specifically, and Divi and Brian. So we're really like thankful you guys even said yes to doing this interview today.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that means a lot having us on. Yeah, so yeah, really look forward to connecting more and meeting you in person.
Yeah, for sure. I want to keep learning from you guys and your other group that you're a part of called Black Sheep as well. We reached out to them. We found Divi through them, and Divi was a part of a book that goes to chapters called Pursuit 365 from a woman out in Vancouver. And we were a part of that book. So when we had seen Divi and then saw her again, it was so strange. We intentionalized to reach out to all of you to get you guys in the magazine. In a matter of like less than a month. So like that's my power behind the scenes, that
Cool.
when I see potential in people to help others, I want them in my pages to promote, what they're up to. But you're a person, it's not one thing too. People who are spiritual and doing what you're doing, right? It's not just like everything's so perfect all the time, like how does it go for you when you're living your life with this mindset that you live by? How do you wake up in the morning? Is there like something you can tell us that like will maybe help set that start for somebody to start thinking, okay, I could change the way I'm doing my life?
Yeah, that's one of the things that we often focus on within our courage container is we set people up with a morning and an evening routine. It's critical. It's a critical part of your day. Certainly, like, and another part of our program is actually helping people like really define their vision and their purpose. And so when you have those morning routines, what you're telling to yourself is like you're serving yourself in those moments. And a lot of times, like we might be working with a mom or like a very busy CEO or someone, and they're really about going out and doing their thing and it involves other people. But when you carve out those moments in the morning that are yours, that are
Mm.
non-negotiables, you're serving yourself. That's for you. And so we have a few different I guess you could say like pathways, guided pathways that we can take people down in terms of like setting that morning routine. But it's really like, I mean, one thing you can do is get up and go to bed at the same time every day. That'll help a lot. It'll help immensely. And yeah, like certainly one thing that's just become so apparent to me has been the community. Like
Yeah.
get around people that support you. And it's better to have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, right? I love that one a lot. And you'll become like the people that you talk to for no reason. So like the people that you talk to, I'm just going to call this person up and talk. That's who you'll become like. And so you have no choice. You can
Totally.
choose. You can choose, right? You'll become like the people that you talk to for no reason. And accountability
Ah,
is the glue that holds commitment to results. So get involved with communities. Come if you don't have a community, our doors are
yeah.
open. Come to ours. And that's like really, really like what I would say. Morning routine, focus, carve out some moments for yourself to serve yourself, fill your own cup, and then choose wisely who gets your time.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. I want to ask too, why do you think in different cities, like I
Yeah,
couldn't tell you
interesting question.
one person from Saskatchewan or Manitoba that's into spirituality. Even in
Yeah.
Calgary, it's not quite like a romanticized profession, still looked at kind of like, oh, what are you talking about? It's been really hard to try to do this journey and be in this lifestyle with the lifestyle I do have. But carving out those moments to go walking with my dog as soon as I wake up, take my dead earth and sea moss and stuff that I take. I just feel like there's a huge change that can happen very quickly. So having a community like yours, it's not that vast in Canada, and as you're doing it and promoting it for free, a lot of the content you're giving out that's helped me is free. So I can't imagine if I was like literally, or anybody was in your container full time, you'd have a purpose. So I feel like, guys, check it out. You know, maybe you never thought about coaching in life or being a coach or, talking to coaches, but anything that you need to hash through, it's a lot easier with somebody else who cares, not just a friend who's like, okay, Jill, yeah, sounds good. So I just really respect what you guys do. My dog, Lily, was barking in the back. So Matt, thank you so much for everything. We are going to be
Yeah, thank
promoting
you.
you guys so much, so don't even worry about that. And
I'm
one
not
day we'll
worried.
meet you. So we can't wait
Thank you
for
so
this
much.
interview to turn into in person and show that to the audience. So you and me, we're going to show what intention and good vibes will do for people. Thanks.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be in touch and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, Jill. That was awesome.
You too.
Thanks.